Being royal seems like a dream come true, but that doesn't mean royals can just do what they please. Did you know that the crown comes with its own set of crazy strict rules? Stay tuned to find out why you will probably never see a selfie of a royal. If this is your first time visiting our channel, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more great content. Leave us a comment down below for your shot at a $50 Amazon gift card. Today, we're showing you 20 strict rules the royal family always follows. Dress. Of course, being royal comes with many rules. When you are royal, you are a physical representation of your country, so it makes sense that your outfit must always be appropriate. There is a strict dress code for the royal family, and they must just all dress modestly. Princess Diana liked to go a little more out there with her fashion than the royals before her. The Queen also loves to do a neon outfit from time to time. To each his or her own. As long as all of their outfits are modest and fit the occasion, they fall in line with the royal rules. Cover the cleavage. Going along with the previous rule, royal women must certainly never be scantily clad. So with that being said, cleavage is a huge no-no. But it's understandable that many outfits make cleavage a little less unavoidable from some angles. To combat this, Princess Diana used to always carry her clutch in front of her chest when she thought she might be in a compromising position. That way, she could still wear what she wanted without the risk of scandalous photos being taken of her. She made following the rules look easy. Other women in the royal family use other tactics to cover up, but one thing is for sure, none of them would dare break this rule. Tiara. When you were a little girl and dreamed of wearing a tiara, we bet you never thought of all the strict rules that dictate how you could wear it. The rule of where the tiara is placed on a royal's head has changed over time with the trends. But one thing has always stayed the same. The tiara must be at a 45-degree angle when viewed from the side. It's the perfect angle for photo ops and allows every aspect of the crown to be seen. The next time you see a royal wearing a crown, pay close attention to the tiara. You'll notice that none of the women in the family break this rule. We wonder how they get it so perfect. Do you think whoever dresses them has a protractor on hand? Tea time. The UK is known for its love of tea. People in the country commonly take tea breaks, and it's rare that you will travel there and not have tea time. When it comes to the royals, drinking tea is not so simple. Even the way that they hold the teacup is important. The royals must use their thumb and index finger to hold the top of the handle. Their middle finger must be used to support the bottom of the cup. Women must also sip their tea from the same spot as to not get lipstick stains around the whole rim. The rules are a bit different for drinking coffee. When drinking the hot drink, royals must loop their index fingers through the handle. Eating etiquette. The drinks aren't the only thing that the royals must pay attention to during the meal. They have a certain etiquette when it comes to eating as well. They must hold their knives in their right hand and forks with their left. The prongs of the fork must always be facing down. And that's not all. They can never stab their food. They have to balance it on the back of their forks and bring it to their mouths. Can you imagine if you had to keep all of those rules in mind every time you wanted to eat something? That is absolutely insane. We would be so stressed about forgetting the rules that we would probably just starve. Get approval for proposals. When most people fall in love, they can choose who they want to propose to. Of course, a lot of people like to get their parents' approval before they pop the big question, but it's not required. When you are royal, you don't have as much freedom. According to the Royal Marriages Act of 1772, all royal descendants must ask the sovereign's approval for marriage. So in other words, Prince Harry had to ask the Queen if he could marry Meghan Markle. Luckily for him, she approved. We wonder what happens in situations where the Queen doesn't approve. Do you just continue dating and ask Her Royal Highness again in a couple of years, or must you split up immediately? Interfaith marriages. Getting the Queen's approval isn't the only rule that the royals have when it comes to marriage. The 1701 Act of Settlement forbids royals from marrying Catholics. They may marry anyone from any other faith than Roman Catholicism. They can even marry an atheist if they would like, but no Catholics. In order to abide by this rule, Autumn Kelly converted from Roman Catholicism to Anglicanism so that her husband, Peter Phillips, could keep his place in line for the throne. So if you are Catholic and unwilling to convert, then chances are you won't be allowed to marry into the British royal family. No voting. In America, the President of the United States is allowed to vote. He's actually encouraged to do so. In the UK, that is not the case for the royals. While it is not illegal for the royals to vote, it is still considered unconstitutional. The royal family also isn't allowed to express any political views publicly. Meghan Markle has been very public about her political views in recent American elections, so when she finally marries into the royal family, that will have to stop. We wonder if they still talk about their political views within the palace, or if everyone just keeps it to themselves. No traveling together. It's common for families to travel together on vacations. In fact, it's pretty weird if they don't. But the royals aren't just any family. In royal tradition, two heirs cannot travel together. That way, if a tragedy should occur with one royal, the other will be safe and sound in another location. Since Prince George is a baby right now, the Queen always allows him to fly with Prince William. Once he turns 12, though, it is reported that he and his father will have to travel separately. It is nice that the Queen is allowing her grandson and great-grandson to travel together while he is still young. No autographs. When you meet your favorite celebrity, chances are that you're going to ask them for an autograph, right? Well, you better not try that with a royal. They are not allowed to sign autographs. Signing autographs would mean that they believed they were celebrities when they are technically supposed to be representatives of the country. It's also a bit tacky. They may sign some autographs privately, but you will never see them doing it in public. They also aren't allowed to take selfies in public. The royals like to portray a sophisticated image, and neither of those things really scream sophistication. Hats are a must. The royals always look amazing when attending events, but if you look closely, you may notice that there is always one thing that the women at these events have in common. It's the hats. Royal women are required to wear fancy hats when at a formal event. That is why you never see Kate wearing just her flowy hair to formal events. How many big hats do you think these women own? It must be a lot if you have to wear one to almost every event you attend. Meghan Markle better stock up before she walks down the aisle. She would never want to be caught without a hat. If the event is held indoors, the women will switch their hats for tiaras at 6 p.m. Tiaras are reserved. You may think that being royal means that you automatically get a tiara, but that isn't the case at all. Tiaras are reserved for married women. At formal events, a tiara is a sign of status for the married women. It is also a way for men to know who was taken and who is still on the market. Now at formal events, Kate can always be seen wearing a tiara indoors after 6 p.m. Meghan will have to hold off on picking out any tiaras until after her wedding with Prince Harry. Who knew that such an ornate accessory was actually used to send messages to other royals? Must accept gifts. We've all received some gifts that were less than stellar. Maybe your grandma gave you some socks, or a friend gave you something that you will never use. Luckily, you can always say no thank you when someone offers you something. For royals, that is not the case. They must accept every gift they are given. The royal family obviously travels to some far-off places, so you can imagine how strange some of the gifts they receive are. Nevertheless, they must put on a happy face and accept whatever is given to them. We wonder where they store all those gifts. Do they have a special gift room where they store all the unwanted presents? Dinner is over. We've all been at a dinner that dragged on a little too long. What if you had the power to end any dinner party whenever you wanted? Well, the Queen does have that power. If Her Royal Highness puts her purse on the table, then dinner needs to come to an end within 5 minutes. This means that everyone must be constantly watching the Queen to see what she is going to do. You should probably also eat pretty fast, because once the Queen is done eating, then everyone must be done eating. It sounds quite stressful to be a guest at her table, doesn't it? No garlic. When you are a queen, whatever you say goes, which also means that you can ban pretty much whatever you like. Reports have said that the Queen hates garlic and has banned any dish from being made with the ingredient in Buckingham Palace. Now, the rest of the royal family may eat garlic when they are out and about, as long as they keep it out of Buckingham Palace. We wonder if they will keep this rule once a new monarch is sitting on the throne. Probably not, since it was the Queen's preference, but it is still pretty funny that a spice is not allowed in the palace. Dinner attire. For most people, dinner is nothing special. Lots of people even eat the evening meal in front of the television. That is a big no-no in the royal family. With the royals, dinner is a formal affair, so that means no casual clothing at the dinner table, friends. It doesn't matter if it's a big dinner with international guests or an intimate gathering with just the Queen's immediate family. Everyone has got to get out their fancy clothes. Do you think the Queen ever wishes she could just put on a pair of jeans and a t-shirt and eat her dinner on the couch? Probably. All that dressing up has to get old after a while. Napkins. From this list, you can see that table etiquette is very important to the royal family. They have rules regarding everything, even their napkins. In order to keep from getting things really messy, royals must use the inside of their napkins to wipe up. Once they are done using the napkin, they must fold it in half. This keeps people from seeing the royals sitting with a messy napkin in front of them. It also helps ensure that no food gets on their outfits. It's a pretty nifty trick if you ask us. Think about it. Have you ever seen a royal with a dirty napkin? Probably not. Chin position. We bet you never think about the position that your chin is in, right? Well, royal women must think about it all the time. When they walk up the stairs, they must walk with their chins parallel to the ground and their hands by their sides. But that isn't all. They must also pose for photos with their chins parallel to the ground. Go back and look at any pictures of royal women. You will notice that they are all sitting or standing with their chins at the same angle. If you ever want to start looking more royal in your own photos, make sure to turn your head like this. Handshakes. If the royals shake hands with so many people throughout the day, they'd probably lose count. To most people, their handshakes probably look very informal, but that isn't the case at all. There are strict rules for how a royal must shake other people's hands. The handshake must be firm, but not too strong. They must look the other person in the eyes while shaking. When shaking hands, 1 pump or 2 pumps are okay. Anything over that is not allowed, probably because it looks a bit silly to be standing there pumping someone's hand all day. We wonder when Prince George will start to get his lessons in handshaking etiquette. Stop talking to the Queen. The Queen has a lot of cues to convey what she is feeling or what she wants. When she moves her purse to her right arm, that means she is done having a conversation with whoever she is speaking to. Common people might not know this, so her attendants will usually interrupt the conversation after seeing her cue. Her family, however, definitely is aware of this rule. So if the Queen moves her purse over to her right arm, they all know to stop talking. We wish we could get people to stop talking just by moving a purse. It's kind of like a superpower, really. That's it for 20 strict rules the royal family always follows. Could you live by all of these rules? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.